Hey guys, welcome back. Before we get into this chili video, here is a really quick announcement. Before we get into this video, please make sure y'all like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to my channel so that y'all can get all the drops when I drop all the different DIY projects and different little meals. Okay, let's get into this beautiful bowl of love. We making some chili with some ground turkey. Those are our ingredients. You want to start off by taking a large yellow onion and just cutting that up to your liking. Um, Slice and dice it the way you like. I made a little bigger chunks because I do like a lot of onions in my chili. I like a lot of onions, period. But when it comes to my chili, I do like a lot of onions, and I like my chili to be chunky. After you cut up your onion, you want to throw it in a skillet with a little olive oil and let that cook down. This is what they look like after they've cooked down a little bit. And you just want to keep mixing them because you don't want them to burn. You don't want them to stick to the pan. We're going to start by adding our ground turkey. And I was not liking the way that was feeling on my hands, so I was trying to hurry up and get done adding it. After we added it, it starts to cook down. You mix it in with your onions and everything. And you do want to keep constantly stirring and mixing the ground turkey because you don't want it to stick to your pan. You'll start to add onion powder, garlic powder. I added just a little bit more garlic powder because, again, we don't want any bland chili. We're going to add some chili seasoning. Well, one of the two kind that I use. This is what I'm just starting off with because I will start to add more seasoning throughout the video. And then you just want to stir that all in, get everything incorporated. Again, making sure that the meat is not sticking to the pan. And then we let the meat cook fully, and then I added some more chili seasoning, and we just mix that in, incorporate that in real well as well. Then I add my can of tomato paste, and you want to mix that in. Tomato paste is what's going to give your chili just its little bit of thickness. Now, you can add tomato paste as an option. You really don't have to, but I don't want my chili too thin. I want it with a little bit of thickness, a little bit of chunkiness. That's what it looks like after the tomato paste. I add one of the two chili powders that I use. And I go ahead and after I add that, I go ahead and add the chili beans. Yes, I leave the chili sauce in there. I add it all from the can. I only use one can because I don't like too many beans in my chili. To me, I really just use the beans for the flavor. I do pick most of them out. So I don't need more than one can. You want to go ahead and mix that chili powder, the meat, the seasoned meat with the tomato paste and the chili beans. You want to mix that all together. Let that cook for a good 3 to 5 minutes. Again, all while stirring because you don't want the meat to stick to your pan. And then I add a can of Rotel because, again, I like the chunkiness in my chili. And I like all the different green chilies and all of that. One for the flavor as well as the color. You add a big can of tomato sauce. And then you want to mix that all together, incorporating everything so that everything is just combined. Like, look how good that looks all freaking ready. Like, I was so ready to eat this chili. I could not wait to be done cooking it. And when I cook chili, I usually cook it different every single time because sometimes I do cook my chili with noodles. But this time, I did not want no noodles with my chili. I wanted it chunky, just like this, very hearty, and I just cannot wait to eat it. After you add your Rotel and your tomato sauce, I am going to go ahead and add my two different chili seasonings as well as my last little bit of other chili powder that I do use. Because remember, I said I do use two different chili powders. I do use two different chili seasonings. It just gives it a little razzle dazzle. I don't make it too hot because my son do eat it as well. He likes the chili as well. So I don't make it too spicy. But again, this is ground turkey and we couldn't have any bland chili. So I had to keep adding different seasonings and hooking it up, just the way that we liked it. After you mix and incorporate all the rest of that, you do want to go ahead and add a little bit of beef broth just to thin it out, because again, I don't want no super thick chili, but I don't want any really thin chili either. So I'm going to go ahead and add that little bit of beef broth. It still looks so good. And we just going to mix that up as well. And when you are cooking, you should not be cooking on a high heat. You should be cooking on about a medium, really in between like medium and low. I think my stove was pretty much on a medium because it does cook pretty fast if it's up any higher than that. So after I add my beef broth, I go ahead and I mix that all in. And you put the top on and you let that simmer for another, I say about 10-15 minutes, because really everything is done. You're just letting it all cook. I did have to taste it because I wanted to make sure it was like seasoned really good. I had to taste it. I had to make sure it was seasoned good, because sure, if it wasn't, we needed to season it some more. That's just what you do in the kitchen when you're cooking. So after I tasted it, I made sure everything was everything. See, I end up adding just a little bit more chili powder. That's what you got to do. A real cook tastes their food as they cook, because you got to know what you feeding to the people. You really have to know. So you're going to throw that top on there, let it cook and simmer for another about 10-15 minutes, and boom. Add you some cheese and some crackers on the side. And there you have it. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe.